Soft Aikido looks effortless, but it's actually one of the hardest skills to develop. Let's take a look at these three main points. First of all, softness requires structure. So if you truly want soft Aikido that is still powerful, still legit, you require structure. Your posture must be stable. Your balance must be centered and on. Your movement must be coordinated. So we try oftentimes so early to be soft that we miss the lessons of training with our partner and working on our posture, the balance, the movement. So this is the first thing, that we need structure within our body and alignment. The second point is that tension interrupts movement. So if you think of somebody walking down the street even, if they're walking very fluidly, then they're going to be much more efficient. Once you put some tension into their stride, then everything, they seem to have this jerky motion, right? Any physical activity, dance, various sports, we're going to get more efficiency and economy in our movement if we can get rid of the tension. So our timing is off if we're tense. I can't tell you how many times, even, for example, in kids' class, even, when we have our swords and we're in line, and I encourage the kids to draw their swords in unison, come on! And I see this sword come out, that sword come out, that sword, that sword, that sword, these two together. And then I say to them, whoa, you guys, we can do better than that, right? And I tell them, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, come on! And it's beautiful. One of the things that happens in that, and sometimes I say this, I tell them to do this, but other times it just happens naturally, is that they go from standing like this with their knees kind of locked out like that to just having a little bit of spring in their knees. They're ready to move. So the knees are loose, right? We always talk about the shoulders being loose, but really there's so many different points in the body that will make a big difference in your Aikido if you get rid of the tension. And the knees are one of them, especially for us Westerners, and dare I say, especially for perhaps especially Americans. We're really a car society. We don't do public transportation much, with the exception of a few city dwellers. We use cars a lot, so we don't exercise the knees as much as some other people. The knees are one that often get overlooked. The tension slows the timing, and the tension blocks connection as well. If you have tension in your shoulders, it's harder to read your partner. It blocks the connection, and thereby it creates resistance within yourself, but especially from your partner. So a lot of times your partner doesn't even mean to resist you, but they find themselves resisting you, or you feel that they're resisting you. And it's because of your own tension, right? That's a tough one to take in sometimes. We want to say that it's our partner's fault. It's Uke's fault, right? But we have to take responsibility. I'll never forget this time that I was honored to be invited to a Sandan and above training in Tokyo with Yamaguchi Sensei. It was not Hombu Dojo, so I was very honored to be included, and I was Sandan at the time. So I just made it. My goal always was to train with the person who was taking the most ukemi from the teacher who was teaching. So by about the second or the third technique or round, I had made my way to Yamaguchi Sensei's uke. And I trained with him. I thought, oh, seems kind of stiff to me. No, must be me. My perception must be off, because I saw his beautiful ukemi from Yamaguchi Sensei. And so we train and train. And then later at lunch, I heard the same thing from many of my senpai, like, wow, they reframed it beautifully. They said, wow, Yamaguchi Sensei's Aikido is so incredible. Did you see how good he made that uke look? So this is what we want. This is my goal, personally. I want my Aikido to be good enough that whoever is taking ukemi for me looks good, no matter what their ukemi looks like getting thrown by other people. It's my goal to have good enough Aikido that I make my ukes look good. And a lot of times it's the other way around. Let's face it, you've probably known some teachers who expect their uke to make them look good. But I want to be able to make my ukes look good. So anyway, shoulders, knees, lower back. That's what I would say are the starting points for where to loosen up, where to look for tension, and try to release it. And one way to do this, if you're in your 20s or 30s, early 40s maybe, just get thrown like crazy. Get thrown a lot, okay? Or come to my dojo in Los Angeles, I'll throw you. And get thrown by people who are loose also. Get thrown by people who are good. So you have to seek them out. So, and by the way, I've got seminars coming up in Los Angeles, but also you can join me remotely. So I do have a monthly membership, and also I've got a weekly video newsletter. So anyway, check the links in the description. So I can give you tips. So again, my tips today are shoulders, knees, lower back. These are 3 places where you can work really hard to release tension as you move, and you will see positive changes when you work on that. Let's get to the third point, time. So it takes time. You can't just go to the dojo tonight and go like, okay, I listened to that Leah Suzuki video and she said to try it like this. And then at the end of class, it's like, well, I couldn't throw anybody doing it this loose way, and so it doesn't work. Maybe, maybe not. You got to try and try and try. Work on it more and more and more. And as you continue to work on whatever improvement you're chasing, the number of neurons required for that movement become fewer and fewer and fewer. This is what is happening when movement is becoming more and more smooth. So you have to have the repetition, the conscious repetition. Here's another interesting thing. My sensei, Takeda Shihan, once said to my friend, actually, I heard it third hand. He said, you get good at what you do. So when you're training with someone who's difficult to throw, you have 2 choices. You can try to force it, and that's what we usually do. It's that reptilian brain that, I have to fight this. Or we can take some time to reorganize ourselves, realign ourselves, and try to do it in a soft way. So this requires more maturity, emotionally and physical maturity in your Aikido. Strong people especially have a challenge because when they get stuck and they can't throw somebody with the Aikido technique the way they're hoping to, it's really tempting for them to just force it because that will get the person to fall down oftentimes if nage, if tori is really strong. So they have a real temptation. I don't have as much of a temptation as they have. So, but let's use the example of this very strong person. They're doing irimi nage and they get stuck partway through the technique. Then they have a choice. They could force it and forget about beautiful Aikido or Aikido at all, for that matter, perhaps. Force them down. And if they choose that path at the fork in the road, then they just got a little bit better at forcing things. The other choice at that fork in the road, the other choice is they can realign, rethink, maybe move their feet, whatever, to see if there's a way to do it successfully in a soft way. And they might have success and they might not, but they just got better at that style. They just got that much better at doing it softly. If they force it, they got that much better at forcing things. So you get good at what you do. The more times you force things, the more you lose an opportunity to try to get better at this other thing, right? We had a guy come in one time to the dojo, 10, 15 years ago. And he said to one of my students, I'm here because I want to get good at surfing. I can't do I think he called it a pop-up. I don't surf, so I don't know. You pull your feet up and pop up onto the board. And I thought, great, here's this new student, and he's motivated. He has incentive to learn Aikido. And, uh, and when he said this to my student, I signed up for Aikido because I want to get good at surfing. My student said, go surfing. I think he elaborated a little bit. Whenever I want to get good at something, I do that thing. So, but anyway, there's truth to it, isn't there? You get good at what you do. So, yeah, I was excited to have a student, but he was right. My student was right. This guy should have been on the surfboard, not on the tatami. So, but you never know what brings people to your dojo. And sometimes they come for something like that. Who's to say he wouldn't have fallen in love with Aikido more than surfing? So I think we only saw him for a couple more classes. Maybe he got great at surfing and loved it. So anyway, repetition. And then awareness, like I said, you get good at what you do. Do you want to get good at forcing it? Then do lots of that. If you want to get good at doing soft Aikido, which is more difficult, then do lots of that. Even if it's unsuccessful sometimes, just keep trying and keep adjusting. Don't keep trying the wrong thing, the thing that doesn't work. And so you need to be aware. And it comes from experience. So that sort of ties in with repetition in a way, but experience gives you some wisdom about reading situations. In conclusion, true softness in Aikido is efficient power. And the 3 ways to get closer and closer to success with softer Aikido: work on structure, release tension, and put in the time, put in the hours. If you'd like to work more on these concepts, you can either join me remotely or join me in person. I'll be in Ireland and the UK next month, in Wexford, Ireland, and Marple, UK. And I'll be in Boston one night only, July 1st. And July 15th through 19th, we are having a summer camp and celebration of 30 years of AKI USA, the organization that I started when I came back from Japan. And I'll be in Shanghai at the end of August, San Diego at the beginning of September, Germany, 4 cities for about 2 weeks, September 14th through 27th. I'll be taking some people with me, a group. It'll be a small group so that people will have access to me on the mat and off the mat, inside the dojo and outside the dojo. We'll be having some off the mat sessions as well. So again, link in the description, get in touch with me. Also, October, I'll be in Montana, and in November, I'll be in Redlands, California. So again, keep working, don't give up, keep up the repetitions, keep the awareness, and you get good at what you do. Don't miss an opportunity to practice this just because you panic and try that. All right? Thanks so much for joining me today, and I look forward to training together with you soon. Bye-bye.